Hey everybody, Nick here. Welcome back to the channel. So I have a recurring theme or topic that I talk about on my channel quite often, and that is how we are unable to enjoy our human experience here. Now, there's many reasons why that is, as you know, if you've watched any of my previous videos, which I'll get more into later in this video. But do you ever notice people are always talking about how you have to enjoy life, to the max, and they really leave out an important part about that equation, or the hindrance that is having to be a slave in this planet almost every day of our lives. And it starts as a child as well, because I think even though growing up as a child or teenager, I mean, one could argue that it's a little bit easier, especially if you live with your parents and they provide everything. Sure, not everybody had that luxury or that option, for sure. But generally speaking, like countries like Canada, the US, for the most part, we had that option. We were born into a relatively decent household. Nothing is perfect, obviously. But life was a little bit easier because you didn't have those ridiculous amount of responsibilities like you do when you go out into the world on your own, which can be scary for a lot of people. It's a scary, shitty world that we live in, and it's very difficult. Obviously, each decade that passes, each year that passes, things get more and more difficult. But what I hate hearing is how people will say to me or to others, I hear it all the time. I mean, not so much these days, but it still happens, where they're like, you have to enjoy life to the max. You have to do things, you have to do this, you have to, have a good time, essentially, which I am not against at all. In fact, I think that's what we should be doing, even if this is a construct or an advanced simulation. We can still have a good time. It's just like if you wear the VR goggles, the game, video game. You can have a good time with that. The only difference is unplugging from this place is a little bit more complicated. So yes, not everybody is enjoying this experience. So when people say you have to enjoy yourself, how come they don't realize that the system is what's keeping us locked in this mode of the eternal loop of waking up, going to work, coming home, making dinner, or whatever? It's usually those people who are quite happy with the status quo. Maybe they have a decent paying job, maybe they get lots of time off, but even that, I mean, unless you have, and excuse my language, fuck you money, you cannot really enjoy life as we know it in this system, in this construct by mankind, or God knows if it's even by mankind. It could be from, those entities that are using us to, farm us for our energies, and I won't get into that today. But how are you supposed to, when you're constantly boxed in, you are stuck having to go to this job that you cannot stand? It never really dawns on these people. They just simply accept the status quo, accept the way that things are. Oh, we can't change it, so okay. And I know it sounds like I'm whining, and I get comments like that all the time, but this is fact. This is the truth. I don't want to accept the way things are. I hate the status quo. I really dislike this place as well, because, and now I'll get into why everything is so messed up. Everything is so complicated. Everything is so expensive now. I mean, even if you had a good amount of money, you still are getting taxed. You're still getting priced out on things. These are just the physical aspects of it, like the daily grind type stuff. You have to, if you have kids, you got to take care of the kids. You got responsibilities. You got to watch out for creeps on the street. You got to watch out for criminals. Things are changing so fast in this place. You have to take care of your health. Whatever this programming is, this human body, the construct of the human body, whoever made us or whatever, we are quite flawed. We constantly have to take care of the body. If you don't, you fall apart and you cannot age with good health. So how do you enjoy your life? How do you enjoy life fully? My interpretation of enjoying life is that we don't have to worry about responsibilities. And what I mean by that is, okay, yes, people have kids. Again, I mentioned that. But why did you bring them into this place? People don't think. And I honestly think if we didn't have this constraint of the money system, the monetary system, the fact that we all have to keep working and this and that, it entraps us. You have less time for yourself. I know people who work 6 days a week on their job, and they get one day off, and they're tired all the time, and not much money to show for it. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Whether they're going to try and bring in the, basic income. I don't know if that's not the answer to these things. It's just, there's so much shit that blocks us from being able to do what we want. Let's say, for argument's sake, there is 8 billion plus people now. How they know that, who knows if that's even accurate. A lot of them are NPCs, a lot of them are background characters, whatever. But let's say that this is another possibility, which is why we have to be in check, I guess. I don't know. You let me know if you agree with this. Let's say that everybody was well off. Everybody had enough. Nobody's struggling. Okay. Let's say that everybody wants to travel. Let's say that everybody wants to do everything that everyone else wants to do, and you have the means to do it. Are the resources enough to handle that kind of traffic or that kind of load and demand, I should say? Let's say that people had enough money or whatever, and everyone wants to travel, and they could. It would just overload the system. I don't think it would be possible for everyone to have the same amount. Not food and not shelter. That, I think there's plenty of that. There's enough of that. But stuff, or going on vacation, or these types of things. It would just overload the system. I think in this realm, it's not programmed to handle that much. I really don't know much about physics and things like that, but a lot of people say that we're overpopulated. Now, I still want to believe, or I still do believe, that there is enough resources for the amount of people on this planet. The fact that it's being mismanaged, hoarded by the global elites unfairly, not to mention that a lot of these restaurants and places like that, or soup kitchens or whatever, they throw away a lot of, grocery stores especially, they throw away a lot of damn food. You can go and look online and see, there's documentaries about it, how they throw away perfectly good food, even though it may be misshaped or it may not look presentable to the public, to the consumer. We waste so much of these resources, it's not even funny. Now, there's just so many possibilities that doesn't allow us, so many barriers that doesn't allow us to fully enjoy our time here. Sure, some people don't have any ambition to travel. They just want to stay at home, spend more time with their kids, just go for a walk, eat out somewhere. But I think what hampers us is the driving force, the greed of materialism, big time. Everyone's wanting to fill up their house full of shit that they don't really need. I mean, that's my personal belief on that. I'm trying to like even reduce the amount of stuff I have. But so many restraints that just doesn't allow us to fully enjoy this life. There's so many variables. A lot of people are unhappy. I know, I can see it. And it's because of this bondage of having to work for somebody. And I know this is way too out there for a lot of people to kind of grasp. And I'm not talking about my viewers, because I know you guys know what I'm talking about. You feel it. But I'm saying the normies, the people who are blue pillars, they'll never understand what I'm talking about. They just think that life is wonderful. The system is great. I mean, it's like, what other system do you suggest? You're talking about communism. You want communism. No, I don't want any isms at all. I don't want someone telling other people what they should do and what they shouldn't do. I mean, I'm the belief that you should be able to do whatever you want so long as it's not imposed on someone else, or it's not harming someone else. You're not hurting someone else. Because, like it or not, we're in this realm for whatever reason. And it would just be great if we literally could enjoy ourselves. Sure, there are moments where you have fun. And I remember working a 9-to-5 job, and week in, week out, I'd have the weekends, I'd have a little bit of fun, but you just felt like your life is only devoted to being this slave. Having to answer to other people. For me, this is really not freedom. Which is why I say when you're a kid or a teen or whatever, you have way more fun, depending on your situation in life and which country you're born into. And I understand not everyone no one gets to choose where they're born. Really depends. But I still think even in poor countries, kids still have more fun, so long as it's not like a war-torn country, because that's just crazy. It's amazing to me how we even still have these never-ending wars, which, can you imagine people in that country are absolutely not enjoying their human experience here. And having no hope of even just having what we have, which is like this kind of prison working. I mean, we complain about that, but can you imagine just like fighting for survival, of looking for food, avoiding getting blown up or getting shot at or kidnapped and other such atrocities happen to you. It is a chaotic, insane world. And yes, people are like, you should be happy where you live. You live in blah, 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 blah. Like, I get it. I know that. I am well aware of that. But suffering is not just one level. There's various levels. There's people who are suffering worse than others. Absolutely. I get it. I recognize that. I just wish that everybody could enjoy whatever this existence is, whatever this experience is supposed to be. I wish that people could all enjoy it. Sure, I know there's like really, really evil people in this realm, but maybe they're enjoying it. Maybe that is their fun. I don't know. I can get into a whole other video talking, one of the philosophers, I think Nietzsche, or what's his name? I always forget that guy's name. But they have like a dual opposing viewpoints, whether humanity was born evil, or it's something learned by environment. Yeah, I should do a video on that too. That would be really, really good. I don't know, guys. To me, I don't have hope that this is going to change. The only thing I keep in mind is that when I do leave this place, I do not want to come back. Absolutely not. To this hell realm. It's sad to see that so many people suffering. But yeah, doing these videos somehow, I don't know what, it helps me a little bit. Helps my viewers like you guys. What are the solutions for this? What is the solution? I know I've had people say it should just all end. Sometimes I wish it would. I don't know, all we can do is hang in there and just have as good a time as possible. Yeah, so many crazy things, man. If you saw some of the things I see in this country where I'm staying, wow, unbelievable. Makes your head scratch, scratch your head, that's for sure. Anyways, thank you for watching. Leave a comment if you have anything to say about how people keep saying that you have to enjoy life, but then you got to work real hard. I don't know. That's another thing I was going to mention. You work all your life, you get old, and then what? There's no guarantees. I think you should live the moment. That's the only thing I can say. Anyways, again, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video very soon. Bye for now.